Hello, I'm Raph. I'm playing a Warforged Gloomforged named Styx. He is a Paladin and has been recently reawakened and is learning about the world around him with some new friends that he's just met.
Hey everyone, I'm Jared. I'm playing the character of Luther. He's a Dhampir. He is a fighter that specializes in firearms, a bit of an investigator, and I am the great uncle of Grinner.
Hi, I'm Jacob. I'm playing Tithla, the Goblin Ranger. She is a wonderful hunter and medical genius.
Hi, I'm Haz. I'm playing Theodore, the Satyr Druid, who's a kind of a charismatic Druid who's unwillingly taken Tithla under his wing as she's followed him through the forest for the past few months.
Hi, my name is Josh. I am from the Roll Together RPG stream, and I will be playing Killian Maxwell, a half-elf warlock who has come to Barovia. He was with the party previously but has lost them and has joined up with the Tempest Guild on their adventures.
G'day, I'm Tom. I'm playing Jonor, the Aasimar wizard. He is on the pursuit of good and evil, finding out the best and worst in this world, and he's doing that with a little bit of naivety and optimism.
And I'm Owen, the Dungeon Master of our Curse of Strahd campaign. A warning, gentle viewer. Curse of Strahd is a horror-themed Dungeons & Dragons campaign, which means you may hear adult language or adult themes throughout this episode. Hello! Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to the Lost Archives. It is wonderful to have you joining us here for our Curse of Strahd campaign once again. We are back. We are ready to take out some druids. Before we do, though... What was that? Sorry, Jacob?
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. Before we do though, two quick announcements. We have two apologies for tonight, Haz and Jared. You may boo Haz. He has chosen work over this responsibility. He has made a choice, therefore boo Haz for not joining us. Jared unfortunately does not have a choice. He is not able to make it tonight. He was really excited to come back in. Unfortunately, something has come up during the day that he cannot avoid, that he needs to be a part of. Hoping everything's okay with him really soon. Obviously, poor Jared's been having a pretty tough time of things of late, so we're sending him all our love and support, hoping we can see him next Monday. I don't think we'll be seeing him Wednesday, judging by what's been happening, so sending him lots of love, hoping he's all okay really soon. We do, however, have our...
Owen, real quick, I need to jump in. Everyone knows The Simpsons. Everyone's classic The Simpsons.
What's the
Boo
Simpsons?
earns.
What's the Simpsons?
So
No, I'm kidding.
We're going to boo has. Boo has. Ready? Like boo earns, boo has. 1, 2, 3, boo has.
Boo has.
Thank you. Nailed it. Go team.
I'm really pleased you interrupted me for that.
Wait for my next interruption.
Well, in the famous words of Jonor, I'm gonna give you an interruption there, Tithla. Which we still need to put on a t-shirt. What was I saying? Oh,
okay. No one's taken inspiration die from that. Okay. We're trying. This is a safe space. All right. Donut undercover. That hurts.
You don't need to fight chat. We've just started and you're already picking fights with chat. Like, are we really
I'm ready
at
to
this?
go.
We do have Andrew. Perfect timing. Andrew has jumped back in with his camera. We do have our guest Andrew joining us once again as the, I was going to say lovely, but psychopathic Raspip is probably a much more apt description. Would that be fair to say?
I think I'm Raschimp at the moment. Actually.
You are Raschimp at the moment. I did have a lot of fun making the episode titles for the last session. I have also made a photoshopped version of that with the giant gorilla with Raspip's beard and hat. That will be making a front page appearance for the next set of episode titles. It was lots of fun to make, and I also have started one for Stefania too, so you can have Gorillfania in the background. I have added long blonde hair and a monocle. I don't know why I went the monocle, just felt appropriate. I wanted to have a classy sort of like gorilla appearance. If you held that cup just right, Jacob, it would actually cover the top half of your face and make it look like you had Homer's upper head. I don't know if you're aware of that. And this is good because this will keep him distracted for some time while he works on this. This will keep him occupied for like a good 5 minutes.
My mouth is still visible, so it's perfect.
5 minutes, he'll be working on this. Those are the only fun announcements I have to share.
I have one more fun announcement.
Oh, do you though?
I do. Did everyone see one of the most recent Taylor Swift the Eras Tour shows? Travis Kelce was up there for the start of her new segment, the Torches Poets Department.
I did actually when he was dressed.
Look,
that was fantastic.
Good. He was dressed really well. He did a good job. He had his show smile on. He nailed it. Well done. I know he's listening, so Travis, good job.
If you are, Travis, which I very much doubt, come and join. You're welcome. You've got a spot right here whenever you want it. We could sub out Jacob for a start. No, just let us... No, sorry. I know obviously he's listening for you, Jacob.
We are available for a guest spot on your podcast if you ever need a feeling. Happy to help.
Are you trying to kick me out?
Yeah.
I mean, there is a hierarchy and tier for guests, and Taylor Swift's boyfriend does obviously trump everyone here, including myself. I think that's fair to say.
He only inches me out by a little bit, though, right?
Yeah,
right?
only by a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Only a tiny bit.
Yep.
Like it's flip a coin time, really, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Okay.
The only other fun announcement I have to share is related to the Disco Elysium playthrough. After an incredible battle with the YouTube settings, which don't allow you to show gratuitous things like a video game with a dead body in it, or have music from a video game appear in that game in a YouTube playthrough. I have now been able to fix all of those issues. The episodes will be dropping every second sort of like space between our D&D until I finish up the playthrough of Disco Elysium. It is an absolute joy, pleasure, and delight to play the game once again. If you haven't already checked those out and you are enjoying our D&D series, Disco Elysium is definitely worth checking out. It's an RPG that is unique and very, very fun and a bit crazy, but the voice acting is absolutely phenomenal. The story is just incredible, and the main character, the person that you play as, is very strangely customizable with the way that you can affect the stats and the thoughts that this character has. So I do thoroughly recommend it if you haven't already started watching it. Apart from that, Synergy, which is that really, really cool survival city builder game that I've been playing around with. There will be some more episodes coming out of that soon as well. I've had a couple of people request to do like a longer form of that, have a bit of quieter music in the background, and almost do it as kind of like a sleep aid. Sure, more than happy to. I can switch into my low, slightly more soothing voice, which I use when I'm trying to get my partner to fall asleep, or Jacob when I'm trying to get him to nod off. Happy to do like a...
Easy Peters.
Happy to do like a 5-hour playthrough of that with some chill music to help you fall asleep. Done. Synergy is the perfect game for it. It's got like so much natural ASMR whenever you click on things in the environment. I'm in. So I will do that, which does, I guess, mean I need to not jokingly launch the second channel, the Lost ASM Archives, which we've joked about more than once. I guess now I should do it, or at least claim the name. So I'll get onto that at some point as well.
Can we do character ASMR?
100%.
In characters?
Yeah, 100%. Can you give us...
Styx wouldn't be good at that.
I was just about to say, I want one sentence of your character's version of what ASMR is, starting with Jacob. I want to hear what Tithla thinks ASMR would be like.
Now, get ready for the sound of me breathing into the left side.
It's pretty good.
Top that.
It's pretty good. Those tingles up and down my spine.
Good tingles?
Yeah.
Might be a stroke, but
could be a bit of a stroke.
A stroke of genius?
uh-huh.
Yeah, sure. I guess we're doing that now. Is that our next like? No, look. I guess we're doing that. Jacob, you can be the first person. We'll do like a tag team one.
I'm writing this down as a note to do. I'll take an action on this.
Not a bonus action. He's actually going to give it an action. It's incredible. That's what 6 seconds of your time.
Long day at work, a lot of meetings, a lot of people taking action. So I'm going to take an action.
Outer Wilds. I can see Chatter recommending Outer Wilds. Outer Wilds is also incredible. Really, really good game as well. Definitely will play Outer Wilds for a bit. I think the Outer Wilds suffered a bit because it came out right at the same time as another game called The Outer Worlds, both of which were space exploration games where you traveled around to different planets to see what you could find on them, which was pretty rough. the Golem ASMR. I remember that now. We did joke about having Golem ASMR, which would be quite funny. Would I have to wear the bald cap and do the whole, like, do I need to get dressed
you
up?
gotta do it right.
I only wish to catch a fish so juicy sweet.
Is that what we want? Is that what we need?
That's what we need.
That's
yeah,
what we
don't
need.
want it.
I feel like we've gotten a bit off track. We should probably start playing some D&D at some point. Raspip's ASMR is just him talking about his stuff and intermittently threatening your life. Yeah. Don't touch that. And then, like, smacking you as you like a big slap. Next one will be hard.
Don't touch my stuff.
That's it. Yeah. It's grating. It's pretty harsh. Let us do our recap. Let us jump into the session. I think we should get into things before we go too much further. I'll do the recap from last session, and we will be jumping straight back into the action. Our series has been following the adventures of the Tempest Adventuring Guild: Theo, Luther, Jonor, Grinner, and Tithla. Having become trapped within the realm of Barovia while searching for some missing adventurers, the team have been travelling west in hopes of an escape from this dark land. After receiving news of an attack on the Wizard of Wine's vineyard by the Druids of Yester Hill, the party have rushed to help their friends at the vineyard. Along the main road, the team bumped into an old acquaintance, a gnome sorcerer called Raspip, the party had previously worked with back in Vallaki. With the shared goal of wiping these druids from the face of Barovia, it seemed only natural to combine forces. It also turned out that some of the Martikov family, Stefania and Lara, were camped out along the route awaiting the arrival of the party. Deciding to use stealth and subtlety to ensure victory over the invading druids, Theo and Styx approached out in the open while the rest of the party snuck around through the vines. This excellent distraction allowed the team to launch a surprise attack, taking out the druids and the enormous tree blight created from the gemstones of growth that had been stolen from the vineyard. While Styx and Tithla looked over the unconscious druid the party had captured, Luther and Jonor began to use their combined magic to help repair the now partially collapsed roof of the main building. Once the prisoner awoke, Theo and Jonor employed illusion magic to trick her and ask some questions about the druids of Yester Hill, the zone of truth Styx had cast, enforcing truthful answers only. Learning all they needed, the druid was quickly disposed of, just in time for Lara to return from scoping the rest of the property, checking for danger. Speaking with them, Lara learned the actions of the party in the Abbey of St. Markovia, and with the knowledge the corruption of the abbot had been undone, she revealed the truth of the Martikov family. A secret society of were-ravens, spanning generations, had been gathering information and intelligence, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. Taken below the winery into a large chamber full of scrolls, books, and journals, the team discussed their situation with Lara and Stefania, learning of a holy weapon empowered with divine light, which could help them face the powers of Strahd and Sergei. Jonor revealed he might already have the handle to this weapon, taken from the attic of the Vlakovich family during the bloodless coup. Styx, noticing a strange pull toward the hilt, reached out to touch it, revealing that he had in fact been forged from the blade of the Sunsword, the sentient magic item transformed to create him. With Davian and his son Elvir currently in the clutches of the druids at Yester Hill, the team were divided on how to approach the situation, Theo wanting to start the rescue mission immediately, while Jonor was keen for a bit of a rest first. While Jonor enjoyed his nap, the rest of the team spent some time researching the druids and learning the timeline for the ritual would likely coincide with the Blood Moon taking place in a few days' time. With the party rested, the rescue mission to Yester Hill began, Raspip using polymorph to bring Stefania with them after her aunt Lara forbade it. Arriving at the hillside, a draft plan involving Raspip, a Raspip-based distraction I should say, was discussed. However, before it could be fleshed out further, Raspip followed the plan and began to walk up the hillside. The rest of the party, now panicking about what to do next, could only watch on as the druids sprang from hidden alcoves and attacked Raspip. In response, Raspip cast polymorph again, this time turning himself and Stefania into giant apes. With the combined might of the druids now firmly fixated on the 14-foot tall gorillas smashing the ritual circle into pieces, the gang snuck around the edge of the hill and approached the tunnel entrance to the caves below. And that is where we left off last session. Pretty incredible use of polymorph and sorcery points to cast it on multiple targets. We're going to be jumping straight back in the midst of combat. So I will bring us across to the map. I will switch over the music and we will be jumping right back at the top of the initiative round. Where we left off last session, we had just had the Druids have their go, and the circle that is currently empowering this area, lightning strikes raining down from the sky, creating all sorts of strange effects. The lightning actually failed at the end of the last round. I think, Jonor, you rolled like a 93? Raph rolled a 93. So the lightning strikes failed. It looks like whatever Raspip and Raschimp and Gorilfania are currently doing to the ritual circle seems to be disrupting its magic. So, Tithla, we jump back in at the beginning of your turn.
Yes. Just for Tithla's memory, we've got the giant ape here, which is Gorilfania, which is old mate. Then we've got 3 things beneath Gorilfania. What were they again?
So as you look up from your position slightly down the hill, as you look up towards the apex of the hill where this large stone circle is assembled, you can see Gorilfania is currently facing off against 3 blights. You can see that it looks like a slightly more, let's say, put together version or overgrown version of the twig blights that you faced off against in the vineyard. You can see these ones, the coils of vines and ropes that hold together this sort of woody core, seem to be covered in thorns. They look much more threatening.
Okay, thank you. Understood. Noting that the last note that I have in my book is Styx has attacked, Tithla can attack. I think I just wanted to not forget that. We will start with Hunter's Mark. And Hunter's marking just the closest blight, and then we will shoot them with arrows. I think that's a pretty clear plan. So, first attack with that is that's an 11 to hit.
Which one would you like to Hunter's Mark? Just the closest,
the nearest.
Blight? Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep, and that's the same one that I'm attacking now.
Yeah, no dramas at all. Perfect. So an 11 against the blight. That is indeed a miss, unfortunately.
Yep. Thought it might be. That's what happens when you roll a 2. All right, well, we'll shoot at that one.
Can I say, Tithla, as you watch your arrow fly, strike through into the back of this creature, it only just misses. It looks like these blights are not particularly hard to hit. I mean, these are mobile plants. They're not particularly quick and fast. And the armor that they're wearing is made up of their own body. Looks like you only just missed.
Yeah, I assumed that, let's just jump into the meta for a sec. Assumed that may be the case. I got nothing to bump it up by 1 point.
That's okay.
So, yeah. But does a 16 hit?
Oh, yeah.
No,
absolutely.
That an 11 is reasonably close. Hunter's Mark for an extra 1d6 with the damage. Jeez, I feel like it's been so long since I've done any of this.
It's been a week.
It's been a couple. We're going to go with it's been 3.
Okay.
That's 7 points of piercing damage from the longbow, and then another 6 from the Hunter's Mark. So that's 13 points from Tithla.
13 points of damage against the Vine Blight. Yes, absolutely.
The nearest. And then she's just going to... I should probably just stay there with her mild cover behind the bushes.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got a pretty good spot, sort of 40 feet back from the edge of the circle, hidden below a brace of bushes. You seem pretty safe here.
Lovely. Also, can we infuse that last hit from Dracob, please?
Yes. What would you like to infuse it with?
Well, he's red. It's fire.
Fire.
It's not a choice. Unfortunately, what a shame. That's an extra 5 points of burning damage. Fire damage, however you want to call it. Which infuses the entire strike and makes the whole thing magical.
Yes.
But does the Hunter's Mark do that?
The Hunter's Mark doesn't make it magical, but the infusion definitely does.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
All right, there you go. 18
Fantastic.
points off that one arrow. Thank you.
That is not bad at all. As your arrow flies true, striking into the back of this creature, the first arrow narrowly sort of glancing off a section of much thicker, much more well-armored and fortified shoulder pads. This one pierces straight underneath the underarm, burning into the core, and as you watch the flames begin reaching up over the upper body of this vine blight, it turns, mouth opening in this soundless scream. You can see tendrils emerging from its mouth, almost like a mind flayer's, as these vines begin to strike forth from the open jaw as it looks around for the responsible party for attacking it.
Hello?
Do you actually wave and say hello?
No, you'd already ducked in behind.
Damn it. No, that's fine.
Unless you're the DM. If you do that, I did say that. So
Anything
that's
else on your turn, Tithla?
No, that'll do. That
Pretty
sounds
happy
good
with
to
that?
me. Thank you. Yeah.
Perfect. All right.
I think that's pretty equivalent to the giant gorillas having about 37 attacks each and doing 700 damage in one turn. I think that's pretty equal there. So yeah, we're all contributing.
As the two berserkers, the very unhinged looking druids who had been facing off against the two gorillas, the two giant apes previously, as they rush forwards, one of them attacking Gorilfania. Sorry, there's actually one of them's dead. Sorry, one of them attacking Gorilfania. One of them is actually going to disengage from Gorilfania, being just enough back that it can do so. It's going to move forwards and go after Raspip. Raspip, as this berserker rushes forwards and strikes at you, does a 16 hit. Oh, he's bailed on us. That's all right.
He's scarpered.
I'll check it. He's scarpered. I'll check his character sheet. We'll see if it hits. I think he'd have.
I'm sorry. He's what?
He's scarpered. Have you not seen Monty Python and the Search for the Holy Grail?
No, I
AC
have a
12,
long
I
time
reckon.
ago. My apologies.
What was that? Sorry, Tom?
AC of 12 for a giant ape.
The giant ape. I actually need to get it open anyway. Yeah, so that definitely does hit.
You guys not hear me then?
Oh, I can now.
You're back now.
I was listening to you guys. I was talking. Everything was on. I could see
He's back.
myself. I could see you guys. It wasn't working.
Nah, I call bullshit. Nah, I call bullshit. So 16 does hit the giant chimp. You will be taking. Oh, that's only 11, it's only 11 points of damage. God damn it. Then
Just save that con though. That's
yes, actually, could I please have a Constitution saving throw for your concentration check?
You may. Constitution saving throw.
And 11 does not hit Gorilfania, unfortunately. That is a real shame. While you're doing that con save, Jonor, it is your turn.
I'm sorry, real quick. Chat's being mean to Tithla. They're saying she's not contributing.
Are they?
I'm sorry.
What are they saying? Are
as
you
you
being
put-
bullied?
Yeah.
Might be a reason for that.
Is it my face?
That is a nat 1 for my Constitution saving throw.
That's a natural 1.
Yeah. Can I? Give me just a second.
I was going to say, Jonor, it's your turn. But we're going to have to discuss this if that is a natural 1 that's just emerged.
That is a natural 1.
Cool. You guys
you don't
watch.
have any inspirations flying around, do you?
Yeah, could it not be though?
Apparently, I have a negative inspiration.
Here's what you see. As Raspip, the giant Raschimp, takes a pretty brutal hit from this berserker, there's this momentary pause as you see the expression on Raschimp's face change. There's snarling bared teeth suddenly pausing for a second, eyebrows pushing together and down as he looks confused. And then in this sudden smooth motion, you watch as both Raschimp and Gorilfania collapse down into their human forms. Stefania, who is like just about to start like punching and raging against the druids and the blights, you watch as she shrinks down, goes to punch and kind of misses, then looks at her hands, looks up and goes, "Oh fuck, Raspip." I'm just double checking. Nothing else you can do to help prevent that?
I have one other thing, but I actually don't want to use it yet.
Okay, fair enough. Jonor, it is your turn. You watch as suddenly a tiny gnome and the young girl, the 17, 18-year-old girl, daughter of the Martikovs, both suddenly revert back into their human forms, standing on the top of the bluff. the combined might of the druids now weighing down atop them.
He was running down south looking at Theo and Luther
Yeah,
heading for the
you might
back
not
gate
even-
there, and he
You might not have even
looks
seen
over
this.
his shoulder
Yeah.
and see them just shrink away. Okay, this could be some trouble here. And he then trots his way over towards the beginning of the hill. So it starts like rolling up. He uses his 30 movement to sort of get to the base of one of these hills and grabs some like white pebbles that have sort of rolled down from that stone structure, and then begins to grab that stone and twist it in his hand, and then suck in some air, compress, and then release a shatter just beneath those 3 blights on top of the stone circle.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, I can get it just below the middle dude. So I'll cast that one.
Jonor, I will roll some con saves for the blights. I do not roll con saves for the stones. And could I get you to please roll me your damage for shatter? It is 3d8.
10.
Could you please roll me an additional 3d8?
Ooh.
I need additional damage against the ritual circle.
For sure.
That's going to be a fail for the first Vine Blight. That's going to be
13
a
for the
fail
additional.
the second Vine Blight. And that's going to be a pass for the third Vine Blight. Okay, so 10 points of damage. The one that Tithla had been taking out, Jonor, you just, as your spell connects with the stones, this blast of sonic energy shatters the Vine Blight. This spray of twigs, bark, and dust sprays out from it, covering Stefania. She covers her eyes from these wood chips, accelerated by the blast from your spell. The Vine Blights next to it take a little bit less damage. That is going to be 13 plus 10, so 23 points of damage against the stone circle. Jonor, could you please roll me a D100?
Ooh, absolutely.
33. Okay, who is within 5 feet of the stone circle? Both of these blights are. Stefania's just out of range. Sorry, 10 feet. Stefania's just out of range. The Berserker's in range. Styx is out of range just. Okay. Here's what happens as the stone circle, as one of these large monoliths, this massive white carved stone, suddenly explodes. You watch as these shards of stone, shrapnel accelerated to these incredible speeds by the spell, shoot outwards, and then suddenly pause, frozen for a moment. The few fat droplets of rain that have been falling from the sky freeze as well in this dome, 10 feet wide around the outside of the ritual circle. You watch as time almost seems to slow. Your hearts beat. Boom. A sound begins to fall silent. And then with this sudden pulling motion, you watch as everything begins collapsing into the center of the dome. The enormous body of the tree blight is pulled directly into the center. The berserker that was attacking Stefania pulled straight in as well. The 2 remaining twig blights are pulled in. Stefania and Styx, you are pulled 5 feet towards this unless you can make a strength saving throw. Styx, Stefania has already failed hers, but you are not being pulled into the circle. You are too far away. I just need to know if you're pulled close to it.
Okay.
Just a
Why is that not rolling?
classic old strength save. You just tell me what it is. That's fine. You're not taking damage. Just so you know, like you're already far enough out of the effect. This is more for flavor.
Yeah, but like it's dead set not rolling. Hang on, I'm gonna have to get real dice.
Oh
The
no,
thing's pooed itself.
No.
that's okay.
Gasp.
While you're doing that, I'll assume you are not pulled in.
By
Styx.
any chance.
Yeah.
By any chance.
7.
Styx, you are sucked off towards this. Tom.
Nope.
With Jonor's telekinetic push or
Yeah.
pull, could I use it as my reaction, seeing things start getting pulled in? I see Styx making his way up the hill, and this like suction goes in, and they're all starting to get pulled in. Can I use a reaction combined with my bonus action to try and pull him away? Stop him from getting
100%.
pulled in?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Sweet
100%.
Are you also
Okay.
going to try and suck him off?
No, not needed. And then it'll be more pull him off is what you're going for, because he's going to try and pull him back. But look, I get what you're going for.
Sorry, you clearly didn't understand. You just said suck off, so I was just
because it was being sucked in, but Jonor's pulling back. You got to tailor the joke to match the. This is comedy.
It's comedy, Owen.
We're working on it.
Yeah, you'll get there.
Jonor, as you activate this telekinetic hold, basically like force pulling against Styx, as you just hold him in position, Styx, you feel this.
He's like holding on to like the fake hand just like floating there.
Oh, I love the idea of like, this massive buff hand, this ghostly spectral hand of like a bodybuilder appears out of nowhere, just grabs the back of Styx's neck and just holds him in position. Styx, as your legs kind of like flail towards this implosion. After a few moments, as the sort of effect begins to die down, you drop back on the ground, you sort of turn around and see this massive buff hand give you a thumbs up and then disappear. In the center of the ritual circle, you watch as the blights, the berserker, and the massive remains of this tree blight are smashed together. Jonor, because this was your spell, I'd like you to please roll me 10d10.
Oh, jeez.
You can just do it from roll 20 if you like. Under the dice roller. I'm excited. This is going to be a lot of damage. That's 51 points of damage. You watch as the berserker and the two vine blights that were remaining are completely crushed by this. There's this spray of red mist as they are compressed into this single point in space. A second later, the stones around the ritual circle begin to pull in as well, shattering as they are sucked in towards the very center before freezing, creating this ball of compressed stone hovering above the ground that then just drops with an ominous thud into the cliffside. We are no longer going to be rolling for the ritual circle. The magic is well and truly disrupted. Jonor, very nicely done. Hats off to you.
Great. You just look up and be like, oh, I'm glad that's over with, and that's it for me.
Fantastic. Next up in the initiative is Raschimp no more. It is Raspip's go.
Who again is apparently going to say they're here, but they appear to not be here.
How's he doing this? I can't see him. It's incredible.
Yeah, because I think he's a liar.
Yeah.
I think
that checks out. That checks out.
I think that's a controversial take. As someone who's never had a genuine conversation with Andrew, I'm pretty sure that's a safe bet.
That's pretty fun. I can't see or hear him as well. Chat, if you can see and or hear him, let us know. But I don't think it's a problem with our with our software. I think it is.
It's a him problem.
I think it's an Andrew specific problem. In that case, I will jump to Styx if and when Andrew. Oh, he's back. Hang on, I can see him.
Ooh.
Sort of.
Ooh.
Hello. Ooh. Ooh. Hey. I don't know if he can hear us though.
No, he's gone again.
He's frozen again.
Again, too, I'm pretty sure.
This is good.
Hang on. What was that, Andrew?
I think it must be this new room that I've been relegated to.
That's right. It's the room. Yeah, he's got it.
It does kind of look like a hotel.
I was thinking solitary, to be honest.
I know. Okay. Is Stefania still getting pulled in?
No, Stefania, while being pulled 5 feet towards it, now that this effect has ended with the figures in the center being crushed, she has dropped to the grass and is looking in horror at the center of the ritual circle.
Okay, so it's just the 3 blights and the berserker in front of me then.
It's just the 3 blights and berserker in front of you.
Okay, this sounds like a perfect time for fireball, in all honesty.
Yep.
Pop one of those bad boys, basically as close as I can get it to hit this berserker, but not myself and nobody else.
Fantastic. If you drop it on the borders of the ritual circle, you can basically take out the blights, the berserker, not yourself, and leave Stefania untouched. Yeah, perfect. I need to make a dexterity saving throw, I believe.
Fantastic. Yes, please.
Okay, that's a 3 for the Vine Blight. That's a 5 for the other Vine Blight. They get a -1. And that's a 10 for the last Vine Blight. Hey, I'm increasing in numbers each time. That's an 18 for the Berserker. So, 32 points of damage. You just vaporize the Blights. You watch as in a sudden moment, the blights are vaporized, leaving nothing behind. The Berserker is going to take 32 points of damage. He is not dead, but he is looking pretty hurt. Oh no, sorry. It's halved because he passed. Sorry, 17 points of damage. He is looking hurt, but not dead. Raspip, anything else on your go?
Alright, that's... No, Raspip's just gonna hang out where he is, I think.
Do you say anything to the Berserker as he's
yell
back?
At the Berserker a little bit, but
Yeah.
that's probably it.
Yeah, I mean, as you look at him, his back is charred and scorched, having sort of only the front half of him being engulfed by this fireball. As you look upon his charred and burned skin, smells like barbecue, Raspip.
Raspip's gonna look at dead in the Berserker's eyes. If you don't run now, you're gonna burn!
That'll do it. Styx, it is your go next.
I think I can just reach Stefania from where I am, correct?
Yes, each of those big squares is 10 feet. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You can definitely reach Stefania.
Cool. And she's like on the ground, kind of struggling a bit.
She had the same concussive implosion force that fought against you. She also was dealing with. She passed with about the same level of proficiency as you did. She was also kind of like pulled off balance by it, but without Jonor's buff mage hand to hold her in place. You can see that she's sort of like getting back up onto her feet, having been sort of knocked down to her knees a little bit, looking around like quite concerned and confused about what's happened in the very center of that ritual circle.
Cool. I might, I'll run up to her and just kind of grab her by the upper arm and just pull her close and say, "Stay behind me."
Yeah, yes, of course. Yep, absolutely.
All right. And that is probably all Styx can do right now.
Free. That's just a free action. There's...
Oh, I know. All right. Well, I've run out of movement. I guess I'm just gonna look into the middle of the circle.
Remember your sun sword. You can throw and resummon it back into your hand. Remember it's
I did forget.
I know you did. That's why I'm reminding you.
I'm gonna use my boomerang sword. How far can I throw that? Surely I can't get the Berserker from here.
Let me have a quick peekaroo. How far away is he? Let's have a little look. I also love that Josh jumped in really quickly to say, "Come with me if you want to love," and then had to correct it to live, which I find quite funny. Come with me if you want to love. That's great.
Range weapons for throwing stuff is normally 20 to 60.
Yeah, unfortunately. So you'd be throwing with disadvantage, but you are
it's
within...
going to come back to me. I may as well give it a crack.
Yeah, you are within 60 feet. Like, you could do this.
Yeah, I'm going to lob it at the back of the Berserker.
Currently engaged with Raspip.
Now, what do I... If I'm throwing it, I roll something different?
So D20, and then you'll add your strength or dex. In this case, it's more likely to be dex because it is a thrown weapon. So we'll treat it like a javelin, basically. But we'll use the damage of the sword.
Okay. I'm still not getting that to roll. Hang on.
That's okay.
Oh, so good. 11.
11. As the... Raspip, this is what you see. As you're looking up at this charred and burned Berserker, threatening to eat him if he does not run away, you watch as a sword sails just underneath one of his arms, narrowly missing the top of your hat before the sword vanishes in this puff of light, reappearing back in Styx's hand.
Styx just kind of stands there, looks around, and that's it.
Theo is going to make a rush for the entrance to the underground catacombs. That was his entire goal. He's going to move his 40 feet, 10, 20, 30. And as Theo gets up towards the edge of the entrance to the underground chamber, Theo pauses. We're in a really unique position where the only two characters who can see something right now aren't here. So I'm not going to share what they see right now. We're going to treat it as if they're NPCs.
Read it out.
For the rest of you, you watch as Theo seems to pause for a second, having passed the area at the edge of the tree line. Luther, doing the exact same thing. As they enter in on the other side of the tree line, they both seem to freeze for a moment, and then it almost looks like they're talking to someone. That is the end of both their goes. That brings us to Stefania. Stefania's going to do exactly what you told her to, Styx. She is not about to try and do anything crazy. She's going to move, rush behind you, and then seeing Tithla and Jacob partway down the hill is going to use her movement and then her action to dash down and get in line with you, Tithla. As she rushes up next to you, she sort of like quite a little bit out of breath, almost partly from fear, partly from like sprinting rapidly over the top of the hill. As she gets in line with you, Tithla, she's like, I'm gonna turn into a raven. I think I need to be in the air to provide support. I can't.
Quiet. Stop. Breathe. Just be safe. Get up, and don't let him get you.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. That is Stefania's go. It is the Druid's go for stuff that's happening underneath. Let me quickly check for that. Cool. Alrighty. There is no ritual circle, which means there is no ritual circle effect. Tithla, we are back at the top of the round. It is your turn.
Okay, as Tithla goes to run forward, she calls to Stefania.
And you really know you shouldn't be here, okay? But good to see you. Okay, now be safe.
You too.
I'm busy. Don't talk to me. Don't distract me. Oh, you've distracted me now. How'd you get here, by the way? No time for that.
Tithla runs forward as far as she can. Is Tithla able to see those baddies? You know, I'm going to keep this in word, really. The baddies that are in the way of the cover from the big rocks, or the Blight and the Berserker, which Tithla is slightly downhill, obstructed by big white boulders, perhaps. Does she have visual?
Yes, so the big white boulders, this ritual circle, I don't have the map to show it, but they have all been pulled into the very center, compressed into a single ball,
okay,
and
so
dropped.
They're all gone.
So all of those are gone. It is now an empty space on the top of the hill.
Lovely.
And all of these things are dead. Sorry, let me quickly put the red X's on them.
Oh, they're all dead.
The red X of death. It's literally just the Berserker facing off against Raspip right now.
Well, then we're going to take a pot shot at the Berserker. We're going to move. Well, what's our range on Hunter's Mark? Because we'll move that over. Range.
It has to be 120,
Apologies.
right?
90.
90. Okay. You're pretty good. You're within range.
Yeah, that's
of that.
in there. We'll call that. So we shift that over to the Berserker, and then we'll take a couple of pot shots, and then
we'll save the day. Because we'll be the only ones that have done anything here.
You have been renamed Titho. I hope that's okay.
I love it. I love Titho. As an Aussie, love Titho. Yeah. 21 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
All right, so we'll roll the damage. That's a 7 plus the Hunter's Mark, which is a 6 plus the Jacob. You know what's really hard with D&D Beyond and playing online is all these three things are in different tabs, so you've got to navigate to them. So
I'm just gonna stop you right there as you bitch about having multiple tabs open.
4. I did it. No, we're good. 4.
Do you want an indication of how many tabs I have to have open to manage the stream and all of this? Okay, cool. Fair enough.
No, not really.
Right.
But it's all in the one
Checks
tab.
out.
Like, you got to click through the D&D. Oh, and we're trying to do a podcast here, okay? Focus.
He's got me.
Did you get that last 4 fire damage from
I got that
Dracob's
4 fire
infusion?
damage.
Lovely.
You watch as this first arrow stabs into the upper section of the spine. The skin having blistered and burned away, whatever armor was there now gone. This arrow piercing through into the spinal cord. At this point, you can see the Berserker is still standing. Tithla, you're not 100% sure whether he's standing because he's still up or because you've paralyzed him from the neck down and the muscles just haven't had time to collapse yet.
Well, we got to make sure we got him. We got to protect Stefania.
And
one of our new best friends. Who?
Oh, that's a 12 to hit.
Chat, you're laughing, but I do have 3 monitors up right now that I'm switching between. That is a 12 to hit.
Yep.
It's just not enough. It's
Nah,
just
never mind
not
then.
enough. As the second arrow sails over, Raspip again. There's
What are
this
the odds of
moment-
it hitting Raspip? Is it high? I'm happy to roll
There's
for it.
there's this moment of like, and Raspip, you feel your hat jerk suddenly as it falls to the back of your head. You reach up and there's an arrow lodged in the top of your hat.
I nailed it. Hit the target. That'll wake you up. Oh, I thought you had an apple. Is that your head? My bad. It was very red.
Amazing.
Right, that's the end of Tithla's turn.
Unfortunately, it is the Berserker's go with only 3 hit points. He's going to have another go. Raspip he's actually fuck it. He's going to use his reckless attack. He's got nothing left at the moment. He's seen everything fall apart. He's going to use a reckless to see if he can definitely hit you. That's going to be a 19. Does a 19 hit you, Raspip?
That hits.
That's going to be 13 points of slashing damage as he carves into your chest, this tiny pigeon-like chest of your gnome body, as he attempts to basically cut you in half.
Okay. As my reaction, can he do a dex saving throw, please?
Absolutely. That's a 5. I'm guessing that's a fail.
He takes 7 points of damage. Hellish Rebuke.
How do you want to do this?
I told you, don't touch my stuff.
Yeah, and with that almost metallic echo ringing in the ears of this scorched and pincushioned druid berserker, as that final gout of flame cooks the front of him, the fireball having cooked the back, you watch as this charred husk of a corpse just drops lifelessly to the ground. Unfortunately, that doesn't take us out of initiative.
Then what does it do?
Jonor, it is your turn.
Oh, snap.
Jonor couldn't really see a whole lot from the bottom of the hill. He's going to just make his way, spend his 30 feet going to the left here and hoping he can get a view of what's going on there. And I imagine he just sees like the bloodied red mess of the white rocks in the middle. And like, okay, that's that's grim there. And I look over to see the berserker now just recently crisped as well. Okay, maybe he whispers to himself, oh, maybe fireball could be okay. All right. I'm going to keep on going down, guys. And he then spends the rest of his action dashing, going down towards Theo and Luther.
How close do you get, Jonor? Are you within 60 feet? Let's have a quick peek at you. Look like you might just be. Yeah, I'm going to say you're close enough. Jonor, as you get to within 60 feet of the entrance to the underground hollow, this copse of trees surrounding this large, almost skeletal-looking oak tree in the very center. Bone-white trunk, branches, and bark, almost like these warped and twisted limbs rising from the earth itself. Around it, these scraggly, sickly-looking trees. You can see Luther is currently talking to a figure. From this distance, it's hard to make out many details, but it looks like maybe like a girl or a young woman currently standing near the tree. She seems to be talking to Luther. Theo, in his Beornling form, is impatiently looking between the two of them. It looks like he's getting ready to rush below, but it looks like Luther's trying to talk to this figure.
Okay, well, no cause for alarm there. That's standard behavior from all of them. Nothing else from me.
Cool, okay.
He just keeps on running, his coat just flying in the background.
Fantastic. A very sexy cloak. Raspip, it is your turn next.
All right. Raspip is going to basically dance his way across as many of these charred corpses as he can. And he's going to head towards Stefania. He's basically going to call out, Stefania, you might want to stick around with me. I don't know whether or not any of these other gentlemen that we partied with have got the goods in order to keep you alive.
Excuse me, stay back, Raspip. It's your fault that she was here in harm in the first place. She's the victim.
If you look at the big pile of dead guys, I think you would imagine that
You're right.
The definition of harm is actually the other way around here.
I do agree.
Stefania is
You are a danger.
One of the greatest causes of harm that's potentially standing with us at the moment.
I stopped listening about halfway through, if I'm being honest. All I heard was Stefania's in harm, and I didn't like it.
As my bonus action, Owen, I am using my last first level spell, my next
Silence.
second and third, two of second level spells and a third level spell to basically rejig my sorcery points.
Yep.
Which will allow me exactly enough for one final casting of Polymorph as a twin spell.
Fantastic. Probably good to have that bad boy ready in reserve, I'd say.
It is cocked, locked, and loaded and ready to go.
It's an interesting way to put it.
Blocked and loaded?
It's interesting. Yeah, we're going to move
Yeah,
on. So that is Raspip's go. What I'm going to do at this point, just to keep things moving, because I understand that it's going to be very, very annoying to keep us in turns. I'm going to put initiative on pause. Styx, when we get back into continuing initiative, you will be the first to act. I am still going to keep things going in the background, and I'll be sort of tying it into the time that you guys take to do things. But so that we can keep things moving, I am going to pause and bring us into that sort of paused initiative once again, that held initiative. So while that's going on, all of you may act and move freely.
I think Styx is probably going to want to start making his way towards where the others had headed, but I want to go through the middle here and kind of just see. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounded the tree came out of the ground here, correct? Like
In the
is
very
there
center
actual,
of the circle, yeah.
Was it just chilling in the dirt, or is there a hole down there that it's popped out of? I want to go find out what's going on with that.
Styx, could I please get from you an investigation or perception check, your choice?
Yes. Oh, that rolled twice for some reason.
We'll take the 21. Styx. As you begin to examine the area around the now crushed boulder that was once a full stone ritual circle, we're talking like pillars that have been around for maybe even centuries, but in a single act of magical violence from Jonor, now just this enormous crushed boulder, slowly leaking blood from the remains of the berserker who was caught up in the middle of this as the ritual circle collapsed. Around the base of this enormous compacted stone, you can see cracks, not delving deep into the earth, but where earth and soil have been split and pushed apart. As you look through, you can see what almost looks like these furrows, hollow points that resemble arteries or veins, open sections leading down deeper into the earth. And a second glance, a deeper look, you can see there are still vines underneath the earth, bone white, pulsing with this strange, subtle red glow. Your eye drawn upwards to the large bone white tree at the very peak of the hill matches these vines almost perfectly. These roots that have split earth and stone, growing probably through the entire hill. Does that answer your question?
And it does. Are there hollow points in amongst the tree roots as
Almost,
well? Or is...
Yeah, almost like the tree was partly buried and connected to these roots. Not that it was part of the tree, but it was definitely connected to these roots through these tracks, through these hollow grooves gouged throughout the stone and inside the soil.
I'm gonna get close and touch the roots.
Yeah, absolutely. as you reach out and begin sort of pressing against the roots, Styx, you are a non-organic being. Nothing happens. Touch the roots, give them a poke. There's this strange sort of pulsing red glow, but I don't know, you've only been alive and conscious for like 2-3 days. Maybe this is what plants are like.
Plants are weird.
Actually,
It's
tell you what, do you want to make me a quick Arcana check?
I can do that.
It's definitely more Arcana than Nature, because Styx, I'm guessing, doesn't know much about it. 8.
Styx doesn't know much about it.
Styx doesn't know much about Arcana either. Styx, as you look at these things, oh look, magic's magic, right? Can't really be explained. It's magic. It's an explanation. It's magic. That's all you know.
Cool. I guess I'll just spend a little bit of time sussing that out, and then
with your 21 perception, and given that you are investigating the area, there is one more thing I'm going to add as you do that. As you begin poking around, you can see that this compressed sphere of stone, where once the magic ritual circle of being that was pulled in and compressed, you can see little sections of rock are starting to fall off. It looks like whatever force is holding these in, it's starting to weaken and fall apart. As you spend sort of 2-3 minutes examining the site, you watch as a section of stone breaks off, falling out of this sphere. And inside, you can see the remains of the tree blight, the one that looked a lot like Winter Splinter, the tree blight that was summoned to the Wizard of Wine's vineyard. And inside, for a brief second, Styx, you could swear you saw this like almost like green flash. And then nothing. Just out of the corner of your eye, your peripheral vision, the database in your mind detects this movement and light in your peripheral vision, but by the time you've moved over, it's gone. Actually, that's a good question. Styx, does your eyeball move independently, or do you have to move your head?
Head has to move.
Cool. That's unsettling. Yeah. By the time the motor is like bound up in your head and it's moved across, yeah, the whatever that light was, now dim.
Okay. All right. Just because this tree seems like it's not good, Styx doesn't trust this thing. He's gonna pop his sword out and just jam it into the roots and just give it a little frizz.
I'm gonna get you to make me an attack, please.
Okay. I can do that.
And I was gonna say, which sword are you using? You are the sword. You use the sun sword every time. As you stab forwards with this sword made of light. 16. Styx, could I get you to roll me a D100, please? I want to see what happens with this.
Yeah,
stabbing a holy magic item with a holy magic item. I'm just curious to see what happens here. 15.
And don't forget there's radiant damage included in that, I would imagine.
As you stab in with your sun sword, there's the sound of something cracking, maybe glass or crystal, and nothing for a brief moment. And then you watch as moss and lichen begin to slowly grow out of the hole, covering the giant white compressed stone with this layer of rapid plant growth. Small white flowers begin to open up across its surface. And then it stops. The white stone now covered with this layer of moss, as if it had been sitting here for hundreds of years. Beautiful, calm and still. But something feels off. I mean, you are your sword. You and the sword are one. When you stabbed forwards with your blade, it felt like you were breaking something within yourself as well. A sense of loss, of regret, that you don't quite know where it comes from.
I think Styx is a little perturbed by that and doesn't know what to do, so just wanders off.
Sick. Jonor, let's jump to you while this is going on. while Styx is fucking about with the giant compressed stone monolith. What are you doing?
One track mind, really. There's urgent things going on. Seeing visions of this place the night before. I think he's going to start, as he makes his way towards the entrance, he's going to be thinking about, who did I see down there? What do they look like? What am I expecting? So just sort of a mental preparation for that the chambers beneath and significant items down there, that little fountain thing.
As you make your way down towards the large bone white tree where you can see Theo and Luther currently speaking. Well, less Theo, who's currently in his wild shape form of a Beornling, more Luther. As you approach Jonor, you begin to hear part of the conversation, Luther talking to this figure. You come in partway through and you hear, "No, I understand that, but you need to understand that we're here to raid this place. Our friends, our allies are captured below, and I speak for myself and certainly my comrade Theo here. We need to get down below immediately. I'm really sorry. This isn't a situation where we can wait and see." As he sort of hears you approaching, Jonor turns around. You watch as Luther kind of looks back, sees the destruction you have wrought behind you, nods and goes, "As I said, I told you, my friends here, they're pretty efficient. They've already cleaned up all the druids on the surface. If there's more below, we can take them out. We've got a particularly vicious gnome. We can just point him at them, and he'll just take them all out, no problems at all. And the rest of us, we're pretty proficient as well. I've got my fire hands here."
Loose cannon. Oh, yeah. He's got rabbits in his hat. That's Raspip.
As you approach Jonor, you can see Luther is talking to a woman, young woman. Hard to sort of say how old she is, but if she was human, she'd probably be about sort of 18, 19, maybe even 20. What's interesting though, she has animal traits, not unlike the mongrel folk that you've seen back in the Abbey of St. Markovia, except all of her traits are very symmetrical. You can see that she almost has this kind of almost like wolf fox kind of appearance. Ears much more like a wolf's, these kind of grey canine ears. You can see when she opens her mouth to speak, long canine teeth that sort of fit seamlessly in her mouth. Looks like she's wearing very, I'd say probably like very utilitarian scout-like clothes. You can see that she's wearing very light armor that's been very cleverly integrated with these fabric robes around her. Lots of whites, blacks, as well as these kind of pink motifs around the edges. You can see that she has this symbol. Looks like some sort of blossom or flower, not unlike a cherry blossom. And you can see at her hips 2 daggers, quite long for an average dagger, almost sort of like halfway between like a short sword and a dagger. One eye, pure black, one eye, pure white, so heterochromic. And as you approach, she sort of like smiles this very like canine look. "Yeah, right, so what? You guys are all like some sort of party or some sort of like adventuring group?"
"Yeah, well, you seem like the perfect person we kind of run into. Yeah, we could call us that. We've been growing in size, and are you gonna join us?"
Maybe. Depends what you guys want to do. I'm sort of more thinking that, I had a job here to do, and don't want to sort of ruffle any feathers, but you guys are kind of fucked that up now.
Well, if you're worried about things getting roughed up, then we just kind of destroyed the circle out there, so you may need to readjust your plan. You're not going to get in our way, are you?
No, I don't have any plans on getting anyone's way. I was sort of more here to scout out what was going on with this place. I was gathering intel, then I saw when you lot were attacking, I figured I'd sneak below. But then this one, and she points over towards Theo, sniff me out. You've got that one pretty well trained.
Yeah, look, he's very capable is what I would say. If you're looking to get some info, then boy, do we have an opportunity for you. You want to learn about these druids? Boy, look down that hole. I'm sure you've dived down other holes, but nothing quite as severe as this.
As you very clumsily talk about diving down holes, Jonor, you're kind of expecting some sort of reaction from her. What you weren't expecting was her to kind of chuckle and laugh, lean forwards a little bit, place a hand on one of the hill dragons, goes, "Oh, look, I wouldn't say I've dived down my fair share of holes, but I don't mind exploring the occasional. She gives you a little bit of a wink.
Okay, well, he awkwardly sort of shuffles and turns around. Well, yeah, this druid hole, you know, we got stuff to do, and let's go down. Let's go.
As you sort of say this, jump over to see what the rest of the party are doing as well. I'll bring up the artwork for this character really quickly now. This, for those of you who have not guessed, this is a community summoned character. This is from Foxtrot. I haven't introduced her name to Jonor, but she has introduced her name to Luther, so I am going to say it if you guys know. Her name is Sen, and I'm going to bring her across onto the map so you can see the artwork for her as it is on the token. While that is happening, I think we should jump in with Tithla.
Yes, so, Stefania, I know that sometimes the sweetest of devils come with bells, and sometimes the roughest of poisons are toxic. I'm not sure where this is going.
Man, that art is dope.
It's dope. It's so dope.
It's awesome. I've been
for those of you
who
are listening to the podcast, I did my best to describe the character, but I'm not doing it justice. You should come and check out the artwork just for this bit.
Where can they do it? On the YouTube or the Discord? Is that
both.
The Lost Archives?
Do both. I would recommend the YouTube, but it is also going to be up on the Discord, and it will be joining the character artwork that cycles through as well.
So many places that people can engage.
You know,
maybe leave a comment about what you think about it. It's
exactly.
Awesome. So yeah, this is going to turn to Stefania and
come on. Okay, I know it's very tempting to want to come, but please try and keep out of trouble a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously, you have to understand, Tithla, this is my father and my younger brother, my youngest brother. I'm not just going to stand by if they're in trouble. And Raspip, Raspip offered me a chance to help them. I wasn't going to turn that down.
I understand that.
Yes, Raspip.
Did you feel powerful when you were a giant?
Fuck yeah. And she holds up a fist.
Did you feel vulnerable at all?
Fuck no.
Did you feel vulnerable when Raspip just stopped having you be a giant ape and you were surrounded by a bunch of trees that were trying to kill you? Did you feel vulnerable then?
No, but that was the problem because the magic stopped. When the magic was going well, I felt great.
Okay.
Well, Tithla, I have an idea.
Raspip, what?
Well, what about instead of turning me into the giant ape, I turn you into a giant ape as well? And then I can just hang at the back.
That the ape would look very good with green skin.
I think you need to become Shrock. If you don't get the Shrock reference, you need to watch our Halloween special. I think you need to become Shrock.
12-foot Shrock. Really?
It's like 15-foot Shrock. The giant apes are really big. They're really big. It's a big old Shrock.
Yeah, I was thinking about this, and what happens if I just stand at the back and turn you and Stefania into giant apes, and you just go and fuck shit up?
Another idea. What if you turn me and Jacob into giant apes, and Stefania can fly around and keep an eye out for if there's any other bad people approaching?
Would that work?
I want to.
That doesn't work for me.
I want to be a giant ape again. That I felt really powerful. I felt really strong. I felt really capable. I want to be a giant ape again.
Stefania, I'm not gonna control you. Obviously, you're bigger than me.
I don't have to be. I could be a raven.
I don't see the relevance to the context, but that's okay. But if you get hurt, or if you become yourself again in the middle of something, I'm going to rush in and try and help you.
She nods. It'd be even better if you were a giant ape with me, though.
Okay, I feel like I'm losing this, and I don't want to continue. So,
Raspip, be
apes
good.
strung
Don't lie to
together.
us. Okay, can we make a deal? Let's make a deal. Let's just be honest with each other, okay?
I really want to be a giant ape again. That was great.
And I appreciate that. But next time, you tell us that you're coming along. Raspip, you don't hide in Raspip's cupboard. I assume that's what you hid her in.
Pocket.
Like, yeah, it's like your jacket cupboard.
Some high conception shit there.
I think that's only fair, is that we're all then on the same page and we're not keeping secrets and we're not lying. Is that fair, Raspip? Raspip?
Yes.
You
Okay,
really
thank you.
thought about that.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you agreeing to this.
Really
now
gave
we
that
can
a
be
good
friends
think.
again. Okay. Great, where are we going now?
I think we should probably see what's happening below, because like they're not up here, so I'm assuming that my father and brother are below. We were talking about the catacombs beneath the hill.
Yeah, yes, of course, that was the plan. Styx, are you coming?
Yeah, it's all right.
Does anybody have any healing spells
Fine.
or anything?
If that's what you're asking for.
And Tithla will give you a cure wounds at first level. That is 13 points for you.
It's actually not bad
shit.
for a cure wounds. Holy
That's not
shit!
bad at all.
It's a damn good cure wounds. What did you roll?
I'll take it.
An 8 plus 5.
That'll do it. That'll do it. Yeah, 8'll do it. It's a damn good. It's a damn
Thank
good
you
roll.
very much.
Yeah, see, this is what my friends get. Thank you for being honest with me.
You're
And
welcome.
promising to not lie.
With that, the three of you rush over as you catch up to Theodore, Luther, and Jonor, who are currently talking to this stranger who you've not seen before. Luther turns towards you as you approach. Jonor currently talking to Sen. Luther turns around and goes, "This is Sen. She's from another place like we are. She's not from around here. Doesn't sound like she's part of a group. She sort of like wandered through on her own. She's been scouting out the Druids. She hates them. I think we're going to try and talk her into coming down below and killing them with us. I mean, that's the plan." Theo, and at this point you hear Theo's voice in your mind. "Yes, I really want to get downstairs and fuck up these Druids. When are we doing that? It has been a full 2 minutes since I have been standing here and I have not killed a single Druid in this time. It's all very well for Raspip to turn into a giant ape and punch them, but I need to eat and chew down Druids. Now? Are we going down? When are we going down below? Is this now?"
Sen, grab your
Yep.
dagger. We're gonna get stabbing, and well, you're gonna get stabbing.
"Yeah, sure. Who am I stabbing?"
Pretty evil druids. Just anyone that's not us, really. That's part of this undersunken tree.
Right, you said there was something about prisoners down there too. You mentioned there was people. I'm guessing don't stab them.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Yeah.
Only a little bit? Not at all?
Look, if you don't go for the druids, they'll get you. So I'll let you play that how you want, but stab druids.
Oh, sorry, I just thought we'd have a bit of fun with this. Fine, yeah, let's go stab some druids.
All
Oh,
right.
I'm casting surface level detect thoughts on this person.
On Sen.
Yes.
This is the surface thoughts. Sen has had a look over the group. Doesn't seem as phased by Styx as you would have expected. In fact, gives Styx a sort of up and down glance, sees the teeth, you hear mentally, ugh, and then moves on. Jonor? A bit more thoughts about Jonor. As Sen sort of looks up and down Jonor, you can see that she's like, yeah, this looks like looking like a nice man. He looks like he's pretty well put together. Same with Luther. As she looks up and down over Luther. As she looks up and down you, Raspip, there's a sense of like, oh yeah, not the first time I've been with a gnome. And then as she looks over Tithla, she goes, oh, as she sees
Hi.
Tithla and Dracob. As she looks at Theo, she genuinely thinks that Theo is some sort of like companion or pet. The exact thoughts as she looks at Theo is, it's a weird fucking bear. Theo has not spoken in her mind yet. He has
Yeah,
only
right.
chosen to speak to you guys.
I would very much like to probe deeper if I can. Can you make a wisdom save?
I'll make a wisdom save for Sen. I will use these stats for her now.
To the rest of us, what does it look like that Raspip is doing? Like, is it super low key, or is like Raspip there, like with one hand reaching out, like trying to
Doing a Jonor, really?
yeah, like real like Professor X sort of thing?
I believe there are verbal and somatic components required for detect thoughts. So it may
Show
not
me your
be.
thoughts.
Let me have a quick peekaroo. I believe there is verbal and somatic.
There is. The way Jonor so unsophisticatedly did that multiple times.
I will get
You
a
must
quick
all think that.
stealth check from
Yeah, you must all
Raspip.
think that it just is done always.
Verbal, somatic, and material. So you watch as Raspip pulls out a copper piece, presses it against his forehead as his third eye, and then begins like, no. Raspip, would you like to make a stealth check if you're doing this carefully?
I'm not making any effort to hide this at all.
I'm not making any checks. Fuck you, DM. As Raspip takes out a copper piece, presses it firmly into his head until it sticks there, then begins like waving his hands about. You hear like as he begins chanting like this
Would
arcane
like to
stuff
elbow Raspip.
to try and throw off the magic.
Yeah, just that.
Oi, cut it out.
I'm going to say that that's not enough to disrupt the spell. Just a quick
Okay,
nudging.
that's fair.
As Raspip.
Can I roll a D100, and if it's 100, it interrupts?
I'll tell you what. If you roll a D100, I will, and it's 100. Something very funny will happen.
Done. I was a 15.
It's a 15. Tithla, as you go to nudge Raspip.
Shit's his pants.
What'd you say? Sorry, Raspip. Andrew? Oh no.
Oh, he's thinking about it.
He's just letting the joke ruminate. He's just giving it time.
It's going to be a good joke.
It's going to be a great joke.
Can you hear me?
We can now. You're back.
Can you hear me now?
Good joke. Yeah, it was a great joke, mate. Well done.
No, just Raspip shits his pants.
That's what happens. As Tithla goes to nudge Raspip, you aim a little bit low, jabbing right into the stomach, and you watch as Raspip kind of like freezes, eyes going wide, as you hear this. Kind of like pauses for a second, looks around,
Sophisticated podcast.
and then continues the
When?
continues the magic. Yeah, when. As you finish the spell, Raspip, 13, I'm guessing, does not pass. I think your DC is
13 is
14.
my DC for it. So
13 is. Oh, I thought it was a 14. Unfortunately, as you go to probe deeper.
No, you're right. No, sorry, DC 14. My apologies, DC 14.
I was pretty sure it was 14. 13 does not pass in that case. As you begin to delve deeper, these are the thoughts you're getting from Sen. Sen is absolutely opposed to Strahd and Sergei. She's only been here for a few weeks. In fact, she's not been here that much longer than you have, Raspip. The place that she's from, it's not a world you recognize. It's not a place that you know of or see. But the number one thing, she wants to get out of here. She has traveled around mostly towards the south. She spent a lot more time in Barovia, in the village of Barovia, than you guys have. She's been through Vallaki only about a week or two before you have, Raspip. It's almost like you two have kind of been playing like catch up, where when one of you goes to one place, the other one goes to the other, and then you've swapped over. Somehow you've not really bumped into each other. She had no idea about any of you guys before this. She didn't know who you were, doesn't know about anything to do with you and your party. She does know what's happened in Vallaki. She has heard of the bloodless coup and what's gone down there. In fact, news has traveled about that. She's now keen to head back and see what's happening in Vallaki, because last time she was there, she ran afoul of the guards of the Wachters after trying to sneak in and steal from the Wachter house. She believed that she could maybe get information on how to escape from Lady Fiona Wachter and attempted to sneak in and steal stuff. Now that she knows Lady Fiona Wachter's gone and the house is no longer inhabited, she's on her way back there next to try and see if she can find anything that'll help her escape. The reason she's scoping out the Druids, she's been watching them for about 3 days now. The main reason, she's not 100% sure the magic that the Druids command, how it works and what it does. In her world, blights are these very simple, very easily controlled constructs made of twigs and sticks and woods. The ones here are very different, and she's curious about how they are created and what they are being used for. Mainly, though, she's hoping the druids have a way to get out. The magic that they're commanding, the ritual circle, her knowledge of magic, she's hoping that they might have a way for her to escape, and that's why she's been keeping an eye on them. What she does know that you did not know, the druids, they're expecting someone or something below. There's been whispers of a presence. Their master. That's why she doesn't want to head below. She's a bit worried about being caught in whatever crossfire is about to go on down there. That would be all the thoughts you get. Hopefully that answers your questions. Cool. At this point, did you guys want to head below, or did you want to stay on top?
Yeah, let's go underground.
Awesome. As you begin looking around the base of the tree, you can see Theo has already sniffed out what looks like this slightly overgrown section of leaf litter and vines that are kind of covered over part of the lower, almost these like buttress roots of this large bone white tree. Sen pulls them aside and reveals a passage leading below the roots. This almost like spiral pathway going around the center of the taproots before moving off towards the north. And as you guys begin making your way down through the tunnel, I'm going to move you across to a different map. I actually had 3 maps ready for tonight, one with just the surface, one with just the underground, and then one with both. I am very grateful that I do not need to use the one with both, because that is what has been slowing down Roll20 for me so disastrously. So I will bring us across to the underground.
So what you're saying is that you're glad that Haz didn't turn up?
I'm not saying that at all.
And he chose to remain employed. Ugh, lame.
I love Haz's presence, and I would never ever besmirch.
I smell a conspiracy here, actually.
What's that? Sorry, Andrew?
Smelling a little bit of a conspiracy here.
I don't know what you're talking about. I certainly didn't call up his work and demand that he work late. Alrighty, let me bring you across to the Undercroft map. While I'm doing that, I'd like to know the marching order, and I'd like to know if you are doing anything. Tithla, as per your instructions, Stefania is going to remain on the surface. She's thought about it, she's thought it through. She agrees with you. Your heartfelt attempt to convince her that it's dangerous has worked, combined with the fact that as you begin catching up with Sen, you watch as Lara descends from the sky in raven form before transferring back into her human form and begins scolding Stefania fiercely for coming without permission. And Stefania is going to remain on the surface. Alrighty, I'll bring you guys across the map, and I will bring us across the map on the stream as well. Perfect. So, please let me know if anything's not appearing on the map where you guys are, but you should find yourselves in a small, almost like a open, broken section of the cavern. Leaf litter covers the ground, and you can see these various, almost a myriad of strange undergrowth growing from the floor and the ceiling and the walls without any apparent light at all. Dark greens and purples seem to dominate the colors of these plants, and they mostly seem to be almost like very broad leafy, almost fern-like plants. The ruins of what looks like columns litter the ground around the broken sections of the edge of the cavern walls, hinting at a much larger structure buried beneath decades, centuries of earth and stone. The druids have hollowed out this section, have turned it into their base of operations, but this place, it's much older than they are. Or maybe they've been here longer than first thought.
Do the ruins seem like they were something that was on the surface that has just been buried through sediment and years, or is it like an actual underground temple-y looking thing that's fallen apart.
Styx, I'm going to get from you a history check with advantage. And the advantage is because of your age and the magic item used to create you.
Ooh.
Sounds very ominous.
It is, yeah.
Okay,
I
good.
did so good.
That's an 8 and a 7. Styx, as you cast your eye across the columns, architecture, not really one of your strong suits. The database that once contained all of your knowledge of architecture had to be wiped for more important things, like the list of friends that you're now making.
Like me.
Hard to know. Hard to know what these are, how old they are. Judging by the appearance of them, they don't seem to match a lot of the architecture you've seen around Barovia, which is mostly dominated by wooden structures. Some stone, but a lot of wood, except for Castle Ravenloft, which is these very, very beautifully, ornately carved stone trellises, stone columns. But again, not quite the same as this. Hard to know.
Okay.
Hey, Tithla, this column that's sort of been sunk into the ground here.
Yes.
You know how we were looking at the abbey and it was from another land? Do you reckon the same things happen? Like this has just been planted down here?
That is a wonderful question, and one that I would love to maybe have a moment to think and peruse. Maybe wonder if this is still considered my favorite terrain of forest. Probably not.
Ooh. Good question. I'm going to say no.
That seems reasonable.
Unfortunately, this is a cave
I felt
network.
like I was stretching. Yeah.
The problem is, right, that the undergrowth is a lot of forest plants that's growing around here, but it is a cave that you're in, and you're underneath plains. Unfortunately, I'd have to do a lot of arguing for it to be a forest.
I can do it if you want.
No, it's fine.
Is that how you want to? I can wrap
all
up the rest of this episode doing that if you want.
You're going to spend
Noting we have
20,
40 minutes left.
30 minutes.
I could do it.
No, it's all good.
Okay.
As much as I think we'd all love to hear a monologue from Tithla about why this is favored terrain, I'm just nip it in the bud right there and say nah.
Well, there's a difference between favorite terrain and her favorite terrain. She can make that argument all day long.
It's just not one of her favored terrains.
There you go. Can we do a nature check then to sort of answer that question?
Get a bit of a vibe.
Nailed it. That's a 9.
Tithla, these plants here, they're growing underground.
I'll handle this.
It's a bit weird.
Jonor, these plants here, you see that?
Yeah, no, there's a few. They're kind of grim.
Yes, so these are the Plantus Orianus, okay? So those are typically grown above ground. So this is a very peculiar scenario where these plants, now stay with me, underground.
But we've just left the ground. We're underground.
Oh, well, okay. Well, the ground is all around us now, whereas the ground was just below us. See, it's more of a mind state.
This is wild. Are we some sort of we're infiltrating the tree?
Well, we're sort of one with the tree, because remember the tree was in the ground, and now we're in the ground?
Tithla, I think
Now
this is
the
time for
tree
you to
in the
say
ground.
compare the pair, surely, when you've got to point up to the surface and underground. Come on.
That's a pretty lame bit that I don't think people would make.
You've definitely not made it multiple times.
You're right. It was just the once. I had to say it multiple times because nobody heard it, or I felt like nobody heard it.
Just didn't find it funny.
We all heard it.
Look, we've all been...
So anyone who's wondering, compare the pair is... No. Go back last episode. There's a whole bit about it. Very funny. I lost my shit.
I think we've all just been staring around at what's going on. Jonor's also going to be doing the same. He knows this is fueled by druidic magic, so he's going to try to do his best to get a feel of that.
Alrighty, could I have an Arcana check? 17. Jonor, magic permeates the air here. It fills the earth around you, the air that you're breathing. You feel it tingle across your skin, this faint spark of the weave. Not arcane magic, but nature magic. A weird bloated perversion of the natural magics druids normally command. This feels closer to necromancy than anything you've felt before. There's this pulse, like a heartbeat, resounding in the air, pulsing through. You can feel it in your chest, hear it just at the very edge of your hearing as magic fills this place. The magic circle above, the arcane focus around those stone monoliths, that was nothing. That was merely an outlet for the magics of this place in which you now stand. And it all is drawing forth, pouring from deeper within these caverns. You can feel it pulsing outwards as you turn and face towards the northeast of where you are. You almost have to take a step backwards as your Aasimar senses are just overwhelmed by this dark, almost broken magic. This sense of wrongness, of perversion, of decay.
I think Jonor's hand would...
Oh yeah, no, you go.
Jonor's hand would sort of point out in the direction of that source of filthy magic, and it would sort of glow a light gold, pointing basically everyone in that direction of where's the big bad things.
Jonor.
Filthy things over that way. I can just feel it.
You can see Theo clearly feels the same. Ears back against his very ursine form, shaking his head occasionally as if trying to free himself from what almost would look like cobwebs as this magic drapes around him. His druid form rippling and shifting somewhat in the half-light, looking almost like he's changing forms. And Theo clearly is distressed by this magic. You can see that he senses it too. And as you speak, Jonor, you hear his voice in your mind, somewhat strained. We need to destroy this. This is wrong. This is all so wrong. We need to kill this. We need to burn it.
We can do that. We can shatter or burn or crush whatever needs to be done. There's going to be a few hurdles along the way. Guys, let's get moving in here.
All right.
So the plants are helping with the oxygen in the air.
Tithla's just continued her rant this whole time.
That checks out. Perfect. As you guys sort of begin like milling around, you can see Luther very gingerly loading and cocking his large fire hand, holding it up, two hands as he looks around the corner and begins making his way down towards the south, almost wanting to give a bit of a berth between him and the cavern entrance, trying to stay stealthy. For those of you who are stealthing, I will need a stealth check, please.
We shall cast Pass Without Trace.
What does Pass Without Trace look like for you, Tithla, when you cast it?
To her, it's like she's taking out a smoke bomb and throwing it into the air, not into the ground, but into the air for it to explode and disseminate across everyone.
That's fantastic.
Great word.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. As the magic begins to fall across, I believe all of you can get that plus 10.
Yeah, everyone who remains within 30 feet.
Yeah, that's easy.
Or everyone I choose.
Everyone you choose. Who is there anyone you don't choose?
No, because Raspip's a good friend now. Raspip wouldn't lie. That's not going to bite us in the butt.
No, he would not lie.
There you go. I can't argue with that. I better pull open the Beornling stats. Give me a mo. My homebrew creation. So I just have to find my own homebrew for the Beornling. Alrighty, so I better make a quick roll for the stealth of the Beornling.
There you go. I've got the aura on Tithla for 30 feet.
Legend, thank you. And I'll make a check for Luther as well. Okay, perfect. So we've got 26 for Jonor, 24 for Styx, 32 for Raspip with a natural 20, For Theodore in Beorling form, we have a 17. He only rolled a 7. For Luther von Kratz, we have a 26. And for Tithla, we have a 23. For Sen, 23 as well. Okay, perfect. Nice. That is a really, really nice average. As you all begin sort of making your way around, please feel free to move yourselves freely across the map. I will reveal things as and when you see them.
Oh, and Dracob.
Better roll for Dracob.
Better roll for Dracob.
Better roll for
And
Dracob.
Owen.
Hello.
I would like to cast Divine Sense, but I'm curious, the wording on it, it says, as an action you can detect good and evil until the end of your next turn. How long is that? Because
Normally
that's
6
dependent on
seconds.
how many people are in the... Well, that's 6 seconds per turn.
Yeah.
But it's until the end of my next turn.
Oh, so 12 seconds.
Okay. Cool. I guess I get a little blip then. I just
Sorry,
plonked
did
that
I
up
answer that
for-
too quickly?
No, that was good. I'll take it.
Almost like you know what you're doing.
How far? What's the range of Divine Sense? 30 feet, isn't it? Or is it 60 feet?
60 feet.
And you can
So long as
sense
they're not behind
celestials, celestials, fiends, and undead.
Correct. Or anything affected by the Hallow spell.
Ooh. I'm going to say it's not just the Hallow spell. I'm going to say that it's also consecrated and unconsecrated ground that has been blighted and cursed, because it would be included as part of that in the essence of how that is worded. Styx, talk us through, what does your divine sense look like? How does Styx do his divine sense? Do you kind of like use your sword as a divining rod, holding it out and letting it wobble and feeling the vibrations? Does your eye glow? Does your head open up? Just punch my mic. Does your head open up into like this big radar dish that like looks around and collects information? What does Styx's divine sense look like?
It's fairly subtle, actually. There's it's almost like a purple ripple of light that expands at head level from him. That kind of seems like it kind of originates from his eye in just like this
almost
sort of
like a visual, a photonic echolocation.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Okay. As this, what was the sound effect? As this emerges from inside Styx. Quality voice acting you can only find here on the Lost Archives. As Styx lets out this little wash of
Not
light.
high quality, but it's a quality.
It's a quality. As this emerges from Styx, immediately you feel the presence of what can only be described as decay. This sense of wrongness, of death and destruction, of darkness, of slime, of rot, of what can only be described as like unconsecrated ground. This sense of curse, a land that is blighted, emerging from the northeast, directly from the northeast.
So that's not a nebulous feeling. There's an actual direction on that.
Yeah. 100%. There's this sense of wrongness. It is so strong. It permeates the air. I mean, you can't help but feel where it's coming from, and you are close to it. In fact, the return response is so quick, you feel like you must be standing upon this ground already. You are already immersed in it.
We need to go this way. And Styx just starts heading in that direction.
Fantastic.
And you said that was northeast?
Yeah, so the cavern wall pushes around the edge here. You'd have to head east directly, but then as soon as you head east, you can see the cavern opens up into this much more northward-facing, larger open space.
Tithla's just going to try and stay in the middle of the group to keep everyone within
shadow ball. Yeah, keep everyone safe and keep everyone hidden. Absolutely. You watch as Sen ducks into the foliage and begins moving almost in tandem with you, Tithla, keeping close to the outskirts, but wanting to maintain a pretty close close distance to you, you get the sense she understands the spell you've cast and knows the limitations of it. She wants to stay close to you to maintain that connection.
Lovely.
Styx. As you emerge around the edge of the cavern wall, you can see the space before you opens up. A large cavern, the roof held aloft by these, at first what look like white pillars of marble or stone, curved, almost organic, as they hold aloft this vast vaulted ceiling, stretching from the very top of the roof all the way down into the floor itself. Before you realize, these aren't made of stone. This is wood. This grey-white wood, pushing its way through the stone and the earth, rising up towards the ceiling, thicker than even the widest columns that you've seen before. We're talking feet across. In the center of the room, you can see the roots have coalesced into this massive tangle of branches. It almost looks like the tree extends below the earth. It looks like this is the lower trunk emerging into this section before growing up through the earth above. Roots growing almost like branches stretch out from the central trunk, and in front of this enormous bone-white tree, you can see a stone altar. Atop it, shadowy objects, half hidden in the gloom, reflected, glinting in the firelight around, hinting at some metallic objects resting atop this surface. To the far right of the cavern, you can make out the shape of what look like large wooden cages. No movement, no sound, just this spooky silence. And at the surface of the ceiling, you can see smoke from the candles and torches around the room has gathered at the very top, creating this haze above the upper roots, making it almost look like these roots emerge into almost like water above you, disappearing into the dark gloom.
How many figures can I see at the moment?
Inside the room?
Yeah.
None.
Nothing.
Seems to be empty.
That's perfect. Just walking in there.
Yeah, Styx just starts walking in, I guess.
Brilliant. Styx, Raspip. Anyone else walking in with Styx and Raspip, or just Styx and Raspip at this point?
Tithla's just playing the stealth.
Perfect. Sen is definitely joining you for that, as is... oh, no, Theo's not. Theo would be moving in too. Theo wants these druids dead. Let's be honest. Theo would be moving in. As Styx, Theo, and Raspip push...
pretty chill.
Let me just quickly read. I was given very strict instructions for how Has wanted me to play how Has wanted me to play Theo tonight. Murder them all for me, boys. I gotta work. Theo will offer no quarter. All evil druids must die, but will reduce the cruelty for Tithla. Goals are to exterminate all decay druids. Secondary goal is to be someone Tithla is proud of. I hope I've played that well tonight. That is legit what Has sent through. I was just as surprised as you are. As Theo moves into the open chamber, all of you watch as the smoke surrounding the upper branches of the tree seems to almost move and shift for a moment, like a current or an eddy running through water. You watch as the smoke begins to pool around the upper branches and then snake its way down, moving almost with this serpent-like grace as it stretches around the tree. As it begins collecting around the middle section of the trunk, you watch as two lights begin to appear in the center of the tree. Red spots, half hidden by the gloom, slowly growing brighter and brighter. And then another red spot, and another, until you see hundreds of red eyes opening across the tree. Dark red veins of blood glowing softly against the bone-white bark. And as these eyes open, you hear a voice fill the cavern. Well, seems you have arrived. That is where we're going to wrap up for tonight. So that
why?
Haz can be here for the...
Not why wrap up, why you do this to us.
Because I really enjoy making you suffer.
Oh, that's fine then. That's right.
Really makes me happy. Perfect. We're making sure that Haz and Jared aren't missing all the fun. The stuff upstairs, not a big deal if they miss too much. Raspip mostly cleaned up that encounter before the end of the last session. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. It's been wonderful to have you here once again. It is a slightly shorter session tonight, mostly because I don't want Haz and Jared to miss out on too much. Thank you so much for joining us. It has been wonderful to have you all here once again. If you're watching us on Twitch, don't go anywhere. We're going to go and raid one of our lovely friends of the channel. It looks like tonight that is going to be... Let's have a look and see. Who do we normally like to raid? Who's really lovely to check on? We've got none of our usual friends, but the Lawrights are currently playing A Tale of Two Queens, which we should definitely go and check out. So we're going to go and raid them, and they've only been up for a minute, which means I doubt they're wrapping up right now as we raid on in, which has happened the last time we tried to raid. For those of you watching on YouTube or listening to the podcast, thank you so much. Obviously, all of our past episodes are uploaded on YouTube basically the next day after we do them live on Twitch. We also have lots of other cool stuff that you can check out on YouTube as well, including playthroughs of other RPGs and games. We will be back on Wednesday for our homebrew 5th edition campaign, Return of the Giants, and again on Thursday for our Avatar Legends campaign, The Legacy of Kyoshi. But for now, that is all there is. Sleep tight, have a wonderful day, stay safe, stay well, and we will see you all again very, very soon. But until then, everybody, see you next time. Goodbye!
Bye!
Farewell!